whether it is fornication, it's adultery, it's lying, it's stealing, it's murder, whatever the nature of sin. In love, we should correct people and continuously admonish them.
And even talking about abuse, even some pastors abuse their wives.
I think it is high time we begin to teach them that it isn't just about this woman is beautiful, this man is fine, so that you can point to people, this is my husband.
Exactly.
It takes a lot to be in marriage.
Oral sex has a lot of implications, and one of it is the fact that it is one of the easiest way for the transmission of sexually transmitted diseases.
Trying to get something from somewhere you don't like, you will chop their money, and that money you eat fufu with it can block your womb. There is a woman who is praying, but most of these young girls don't know that they are lying.
You see, so most married men go out there and lie to innocent girls.
That who told you are innocent? These hypocritic girls.
Some of the girls are innocent. Because I know some girls who will tell you that if you are married, forget.
This is a moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in redeeming the family glory under an atmosphere of worship and prayer. GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory. The venue is Empowerment Center, Assemblies of God, Taifa, Burkina, with Reverend Stephen Doku. Date, Sunday, 2nd October 2016. Time, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Theme, Total Trust in God. Precious one, Evangelist Johnny called Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through prayer.
Hello, precious viewers. Welcome to yet another beautiful weekend with us here on GTV Live. And you know the program is Weekend Review. And Weekend Review, our core mandate still remains bringing the family together, reshaping society for tomorrow generations. Yes, we do believe in the next generations. And on this platform, please, we have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Let your comments come in. Every questions and contributions you have come in. We'll be glad to chat with you. But tomorrow, please, for those of you who have never watched Redeeming the Family Glory, it's a moment you cannot do away with. 10 p.m. tomorrow, watch it. But same tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. at Empowerment Assemblies of God Church. Oh my God. It is happening live, redeeming the family glory. We say we are bringing back that lost glory that the family deserves. We are bringing it back to life. Whatever the enemy has touched in your home, in your family, we are bringing it back. And through prayer, worship moment, something awesome is going to happen to your family. Pick any of the numbers up screen and let's talk in case you want to join us. You might be going to church, but just excuse church for just today. Tomorrow, and join us even as we have this program together. Redeeming the family glory. We believe in the beauty of your family. We'll take this quick break. When we come back, I have this wonderful man of God with me to do a discussion shortly.
There is power in the name of Jesus.
This is a moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in redeeming the family glory under an atmosphere of worship and prayer. GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory. The venue is Empowerment Center, Assemblies of God, Taifa, Burkina, with Reverend Stephen Doku. Date, Sunday, 2nd October 2016. Time, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Theme, Total Trust in God. Precious one, Evangelist Johnny called Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through prayer.
You're welcome back, and the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Review Show with me, Johnny called Dollarich. Right now, I have this wonderful men of God with me on set, and there's a program coming up soon, and they are here to give us a brief and an invitation as well. I know I love when this moment comes, because anything that has to do with bringing the beauty of the family, reshaping society, I'm in for it. And I want to welcome this wonderful men of God on set. And on my immediate left is this wonderful pastor. Osofo, you're welcome.
God bless you.
Right. And my viewers would like to know you more.
Okay, I'm Apostle Nathaniel Chilaka. I'm originally from Nigeria, but I've been in Ghana now for more days and years than I've been in any part of Nigeria. So I consider myself a Ghanaian as well. So if you ask me to define myself, I call myself a Nigerian.
That's a big one there. Wow. Thank you so much for coming.
God bless you, my brother.
How's the family, everybody?
Everyone is doing good.
Thank God. And then on my far left is this handsome man. Reverend, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Please, I would like to know you.
I'm Apostle Victor Aminyeji. Wow. From House of Praise International Chapel at Bachona. Yeah.
So you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Right. And let's quickly go. This program coming up, God Still Speaks Today. Also, give us more touch on it.
Okay. This program is organized by a group called TREGA. TREGA is an acronym for the Redeemed International Gospel Ministers Association. It's a ministerial network forum. It's an organization that brings together ministers. We are living in the days of error, so much error in the ministry. From every sphere of the ministry, you notice there's so much error. So many people want to be in the ministry, and they don't even know what ministry is all about. They are interested in the atmosphere created by the ministry, the luxury, the charm, or if you please, the glory of the ministry, but they don't know what a minister is all about. They don't know what it takes to be a minister. And so our forum seems to have the opportunity to bring people together, ministers together, and unearth their God-given ministry and talent, and teach them the right way to go and how to be able to fulfill their God-given ministry. And so we organize this conference. It's a yearly affair. Okay, and this group has been around in Ghana now for about 2 years. We have our headquarters in the U.S. We are in about 8 states in the U.S. And we are here in Africa. And almost minus the Northern Africa, we are in Central Africa. That is Kenya, that is Cameroon. We're in East Africa. We are Kenya, Uganda, Burundi. We're in South Africa, and we are here in West Africa. We're in Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, and Cote d'Ivoire. All right, so this conference is running across all these nations of Africa I've mentioned. We started in August at Kenya, Uganda, through to Nigeria. Here, we are doing it now in Ghana. And now we are, this program is scheduled or determined to help open up people's eyes about the errors in the ministry. A lot of people are call themselves apostles and prophets. And when you gather them together, They can't even define the office of an apostle.
Or prophet.
They cannot even define the office of a prophet. They think that to be called a prophet or an apostle is to wear up some good dress and put up some long chain, and begin to give some utterances that doesn't even come from the Lord God. And so there's so much confusion in the atmosphere. A lot of people are following all sorts of, mirage. They are not real. As a matter of fact, a Christian born of the Spirit and the Word of God should be able to have the spirit of prophecy in him, be able to discern, be able to know when God is speaking. And so this program is designed to open up people's eyes. That's why we call it apostolic and prophetic activation. We believe God that by the end of this conference, people's supernatural antenna will be activated to pick up signals from heaven, prophetically, apostolically, and things that will help them build them up as people God have gotten for himself through the blood of Jesus.
Now, Reverend, let's look at this. I know the dates. I'm not too sure. Is it a one-day program? Is it for a week? And where will it be held?
Yeah, actually, it's a 2-day program.
Okay.
Starting from 7 to 8 September. Okay. It's 7 to 8 October. Precisely. Okay. Yeah, precisely at Nungwa, near the police barrier.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the one near the police barrier. Okay. That's with what's this name? Overcomers Worship Center.
Yeah.
Okay. Overcomers Worship Center. Okay. Yeah, near Nungwa barrier. Okay. Basically, yeah, like Apostle said earlier on, it's an eye-opening in this end time where we are in the apostolic move. And I believe that there are people in a system whom God has called for a particular work. But we are here to bring that kind of activation and eye-opening and how to activate people to be sensitive to the voice of God. And even the theme of this conference is God Still Speak Today. And many people, you ask them about, you pray, did you hear God? They say, no, I didn't hear anything. People are not sensitive, and hearing God's voice, you need to start it from somewhere. Like, you see, like a child. A child knows the parent or the father's voice. As long as you stay with that child for a particular time, that child begins to adopt the voice of the father. So it doesn't matter, even when the father calls from outside, the child is able to identify the voice of the father. In a case of Samuel, it did happen. Yes. Samuel has lived all his life with Eli. So he knows the voice of Eli. So immediately even hearing God's voice, God's calling him in a temple, he thought it was Eli. So he ran to Eli the first time, he ran to him the second time, he ran to him the third time. And the old man, noticing that no, God is calling this young boy. I need to give him direction. He said, go back again. When you hear that voice again, say, Lord, thy servant heareth. Okay, now, there is a click over there. There was something mixing. And there are many of us today, we are still in the church today, praying every day, but we can't hear God's voice. There are many of us today prophesying and saying things that we say, God said it, and God said it probably might not be coming from God. So these are some of the things that we, in this conference, we want to activate and help people, okay, to come to the light of the voice of God.
What time are we looking at for both days? The time?
We
Is it
intend
morning sessions or evening session?
It's running only in the mornings.
Okay.
9 a.m. Prompt. God's time, please.
God's time.
Not GMT. Ghana man time.
No, it's
not
God's
African time.
God's time.
God's time.
I see. 9 a.m.
Yes, please.
Prompt. I see.
Yes.
And let's see, because I know one or two people be asking, is it open to everybody or is it for just ministers? Can anybody, any church worker, any Christian, anybody, whether Christian or non-Christian, can anybody come at all?
Yes. The program is open to ministers, their associates, church workers, church elders, choristers, prayer warriors, everybody in the ministry. Basically, you realize that by the time we go through it, every member of the church is involved in the ministry one way or the other. So it's an open invitation to every Christian man or woman.
I see.
Yes.
Reverend, let me ask you this. If somebody is out there, I mean, why should a person come at all in the first place?
Yeah, I believe that there is this illusion out there that men of God of this day are just playing on the intelligence of people, you know. So, but I believe that it's a challenge for you to come and add up to knowledge. That's the most important thing, because every conference you attend, this is a conference with a difference, and the difference is such that when you'll be imparted with knowledge. That is what we are looking at, because like I originally said, Samuel didn't have any knowledge about the voice of God. Okay, and I believe that there's so many people who are still going to church, and you bear witness with me. You may have spoken to someone and said, "Did you pray this morning? Did you hear God say anything?" You say, "No." Come, and through this conference, you'll be blessed. We will give you the principles and how you should go about it, and practically how to hear God's voice. Actually, yes.
I'll be there.
Surely. Thank you.
We'll be expecting you. Yeah. Good to have you on the program.
It's my
I'm
pleasure.
so blessed. But finally, before you go, is there anything you would want the public to know?
Yes. This program is power-laden, loaded with great ministers of the gospel. We have speakers from U.S. The president of the group Trigger is flying in from U.S. this weekend. We have a speaker, Bishop. Okay, the name of our president is Apostle Dr. Uche Ndubisi. We have a speaker coming from Kenya called Apostle Herbert Eze. We have a speaker from Nigeria. This is going to shock you. Bishop Simon Chilaka, not a relation of mine by birth. We met on the platform, and we realized we all bear the same surname. And then we have another speaker from Uganda, Apostle Benjamin Kikanko. We have people coming from Côte d'Ivoire. We have people coming from Senegal. We have people coming in from Burundi. So that is why we see it as a hugely an international conference, ministers' conference. So these men of God are coming with an array of grace, anointing, and power. And they are coming to offload it upon us in this nation, Ghana. So we cannot fail to come and tap into this oil. It is a must be. It's a place to be for any Christian who wants his spiritual antenna, I use that word, to be activated, to be able to hear God's voice clearly. I just cannot wait for it to take off. That is why I give you this personal invitation, Dollarich. Don't miss it for anything. And your viewers, nobody should miss this conference because it promises to be an incredible time in the presence of the Most High God. Let nothing stop you from coming, because the Holy Ghost is in touch. It will touch down and will swim in the rivers of glory.
We are definitely going to swim in the rivers of glory, and I give you this special invitation and weekend review. We are going to be there. Thank you so much for passing through the program. It's an honor having you.
It's my pleasure.
Wow. Thank you so much. Viewers, we will be right back with our discussion for the day. Stay tuned.
There is power in the name of Jesus.
This is a moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in redeeming the family glory under an atmosphere of worship and prayer. GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory. The venue is Empowerment Center, Assemblies of God, Taifa, Burkina, with Reverend Stephen Doku. Date, Sunday, 2nd October 2016. Time, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Theme, Total Trust in God. Precious one, Evangelist Johnny called Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through prayer.
You're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying. And as I said earlier, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. sharp, please don't miss it. Empowerment Assemblies of God Church, Taifa Burkina. We are meeting there to pray for the family. It is redeeming the family glory. We believe in the beauty of the families, and therefore, please come join us even as we pray for your home. But right now, we want to do our topic of the week, and I have my guests on set, and I want to welcome them. And I want to go to my immediate left to this beautiful woman, and she'll tell us where she's coming from and her name. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm blessed, and you?
Right, I'm blessed too. Okay. And let's know you, please.
I'm Doreen Dugbazan JB. I'm a public servant. I work and live here in Ghana.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
I think
too.
it's your second time being on the set with me. I'm so blessed having you.
I'm blessed to be here too.
And my immediate left is this handsome Reverend Minister, dressed in all white and signifying the glory of God. Also, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you, please?
By the grace of God, I'm blessed, highly favored.
So
I'm in white because I'm September born.
You are blessed.
And so I'm still in the birthday
I can
mood.
see.
Yeah. I'm Kennedy Akondo, Reverend, a pastor with Assemblies of God and a senior pastor of Good Shepherd Assembly of God, located at Spot M of Angkor.
Also, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you.
We'll talk more after the show.
All right.
And right about now, we want to do our topic of the week, and we want to look at the topic, understanding the emotional needs of your child. Now, there are so many things we are coming across on this show, and it looks like, well, parent and children relationship is having issues because there are some people I'm talking to, and it's amazing the things they are doing out there because they are disconnected from their families. But we want to throw more light on how to bridge that gap and ensuring that families, children and parents are able to come into terms in handling the harmony in their homes. And I'll go straight to my Reverend Minister in all white. And also, let's look at it from a start. Understanding the emotional needs of your child. What can you take us through?
Yeah, also, thank you very much for the opportunity. And God bless you for the vision for shaping the future generation. The best legacy that a nation or a family can have is its predecessors. People who are going to succeed or take over from the parents. And these are our children. And as a nation and as a people, we are in challenging moments and challenging times, looking at the kind of generation we have in this 21st century. You can't predict them.
Very unpredictable.
Very unpredictable. Yet we need to know them.
Exactly.
And we need to know what they want. We need to know their shortcomings so that we can also give them the legacy that our parents gave us for our future. So it's a very relevant topic, and I'm glad to be part of this panel.
You're welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
All right, and I'll go straight to Mrs. Dugbazan JB, and she'll give us a start.
Talking about knowing the emotional needs of our children, I believe we as parents, we should have the understanding that our children also have emotional needs.
That's right.
They are human beings just as we are. The only difference is they are younger and we are older. And we should also respect their needs, appreciate their needs, identify with their needs and help them also appreciate themselves. We should also know that every child is unique. No child in a family, they will look alike, all right. They'll have similar traits, but they are not going to be the same. So when we bring in that individuality, we will be able to understand their needs and then meet them appropriately.
Wow. I'll come back to you. You've raised, a whole lot of topics for your intro, but Reverend, let's look at this. Like she's rightly saying, we should be able to identify each child, each individual, and be able to assess them to know how to even shape them by way of their upbringing. Now, let's look at it. If you have a child at home and you are disconnected from the child in a way, sometimes you can see the child is even prompting you over an issue, yet, you are looking at it from a different perspective, because I've seen so many times that you see that your child is telling you this, but you also feel that, no, this is what it should be, and you are disconnected in a way. How do we get a difference?
Well, thank you very much. In fact, I remember a friend telling me one time that we need to introduce by force what we call postmarital counseling.
That's right.
In the churches. Because it's one thing getting married. It's another thing staying in the marriage.
That's right.
And another thing bringing up children. You see, that is the core responsibility of marriage or parenting. Because if you bring up the children, if you make the children or make the babies, and you cannot bring them up, you are failed. Because they will grow to become the generation that will trouble you in the future.
Right. That's right.
And I pray that these things will be done by every parent listening to us. Because we must know the children we are bringing up. As you are saying, you have the children, you go out chasing job, you go out chasing money, and you leave the children uncatered for. They will do their own thing. And one thing we should know is that, as Mommy rightly said, that these children have different personalities.
That's right.
Even though we can have 4 or 5 of them with the same parents, but they all come with different character, different temperament, and especially if you birth them in different environments. They have different tastes. Yes, if I have 4 children, so at times I can use them for an example. You know, these children must be studied and know very, very well. We must know the kind of children we are parenting. And when we know them, we will know how to handle each of them.
That's right.
And one thing that children need is care.
That's right.
They need to be listened to. They are also human beings like us, only that they can't be on their own. So we need to guide them. We need to lead them. So every parent in one way or the other is a leader. And so you must know what the child needs at a particular moment, their physiological needs, their material needs, psychological needs, whatever. We need to give it to them because we are their immediate accomplices, or we are closer to them than any other person. We are closer to them than any other person.
If you're watching the program is Weekend Review right here on GTV Live with me, Johnny Cole, Dollarich. And here we say we are bringing the family together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generations. We are discussing understanding the emotional needs of your child. I mean, where we are torn apart, I mean, we are distant from our children, and sometimes their cry doesn't seem to ring a bell in the home. I mean, you realize parents are going northward and children are going southward. I mean, we have to get connected. We are bringing harmony in the home. And please call somebody also to call somebody to watch this program. But however, we have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. I'll go to Mommy. Let's look at this. You raised so many points that let's take it one after the other. I mean, understanding the children is one factor. I mean, sometimes, you know, you have 4 kids, like Osoph was saying, and this one is cool, this one is very hot, minded person, and one is that reserved, one is the outgoing. I mean, but here is the case. Understanding each of them is a job on its own. I mean, bridging them by the character differences is also another thing. How do you put all these differences together? You know, it's tiring if you ask me, because you have to learn how to, hey, you are this, hey, you. As a parent, how do you cope with all these challenges?
Yeah, it's true that the children will come with different character traits, and they're in the same home.
That's right.
We also have to respect them as individuals. It is true that you are the parent in the home, but you have to try to understand and treat them as individuals. It doesn't matter the age difference. You are their parent. You should know them better. Give them that understanding. Give them that opportunity for them to relate with you. You cannot just boss all of them together because you are their parents, so you are going to treat them the same. It will never happen. There are some children, as you earlier on said, who are shy and very reserved. Such children, you should know the way to handle them. There are some you shout at them, they will just be looking at you, they will not be bothered. But there are some, by doing that, they will quarrel and they will never come back. You affect them emotionally. There are some who are very outspoken and very loud. You have to know how to handle such a child as well. So you cannot just boss all of them together. Know them by their personality traits, and then you handle them accordingly. Yeah.
Reverend, I saw you nodding. Now, let's look at it. I mean, sometimes when it has to do with these children upbringing, I know it's a huge task, because there are some parents, some of them are giving up, because you get to that point in the family life that you realize that no, this child is going. I mean, you can't do anything about it anymore. Is it a matter of we didn't start well? Is it a matter of like the parent didn't take notice of the child from the beginning, and maybe they missed a mark? That's why the child is no more growing to that kind of expectation that they really wanted.
Yeah. I think I would like to start from where Mommy ended.
Yes, okay.
You see, if you know your children, then you can, treat them the way you know them. Because, like I would say, in our days, they will tell you when the elderly people are talking, you don't talk.
You don't even get close.
But in this generation, even when you are on your mobile phone, they want to talk.
They want to take it from you.
If you are with friends, they want to come around. How do you handle them? Do you cane them? Yeah, I'm one person who believes in the cane anyway, but you should know when to apply it and how to apply it. At times, some of them fear the cane, so when it comes to shaping in their lives, you introduce the cane a little, and then But then, coming back to your question, I don't think that all hope should be given on an individual or a child. And this is where I will encourage parents to also put in prayer, in bringing up children. Because when you kill the emotions or you wound a child's emotions, you have destroyed that child. And so we need as parents to also read. There are some parents who can read and write, but they don't read. They will not study anything about child growth. And so they bus all the children, like to borrow what we say. They bus all of them, and then they treat them equally. But that's not it. Some of the children are outspoken. You have to know how to treat them. Some of them are very quiet. You have to know how to treat them. And so, if you know the child, you can also employ the external hands to come in at times to help you rehabilitate those children when you see that they are going out of the track.
I want us to now delve more deeper into the dangers, especially when I won't say neglect your responsibility as a parent, but when you lose that touch of that need that the child really wants, you know, either psychologically, materially, or I mean that emotional thing that the child is looking for. Because I've seen a couple of young ladies who are disconnected to the parents or from the parents in a way, and now they've taken life into their hands, and you know, they want to have a field day, they want to do their own thing out there. Let's look at it. If you have a young daughter and probably you couldn't be there for her, or for one reason or the other, and you know, she's out there on her own, she wants to survive life, she wants to make it, well, is it from the touch? Let's say you were not there, and therefore she's also out there doing her own thing. How do you are still alive? I mean, you are not dead. So how do you get connected back to shaping such a child?
To answer your question, I would like to find out what happened that the child is out there and you are also somewhere else.
That's right.
Is it as a result of work that you've moved to another region or area and the child is living with somebody else? That notwithstanding, there should still be a relationship between you and that child. The child might have stayed with you from the formative years up to a certain point before the separation.
Okay.
What are the values that instill in that child? If it is done properly, I believe the child will grow up with such a value and live with it. And the relationship will as well continue. But what I've also come to realize is that there is some sort of, I would say, a generational gap. The way we were brought up, it is not the same way things are going this day. But there are some values that we can still pick from the past, use it for the present to shape tomorrow. But sometimes we parents, we think we know everything, and that is not helpful enough. The children of today, believe you me, I think they know so much. They know so much. So there is the need for us to come to their level and have that understanding and appreciation. So if the child is out there and you are somewhere else, instill in that child the values, and the child will go out there and live with that value. But if you've not been able to do that, you cannot expect what you have not given. If you've not given the child that love, that relationship, it will be difficult for you to have it back.
Wow.
But as Reverend said earlier on, hope should not be lost. There can still be amendments. You can still move, make amends, and bring that child back. Reconcile with that child. Things that you've not been able to do, you can go back and do it, and then you move forward.
That brings me to this point. You hear some of these young ones, some children, even some people are quite old though, because of one issue or the other, they get disconnected and they feel, oh, my mother or my father was not responsible. I mean, she was not there for me. He wasn't there for me. So I want to live my life. Also, when you get to this point.
I think that the children viewing us should also know that anytime you try to live your own life, you should know that you are heading towards destruction. David said, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. It means that there should be a shepherd. Who should always apply the rod and the staff. So if you go from the way or sway from the way of the shepherd, you face the wolves there. So I don't think that children should think that they know all. At least this is an IT generation, so they could Google anything. That doesn't mean say experience is the best teacher. Your parents have gone through it, and someone said that what an elderly man sitting down can see, a child on the rooftop cannot see. You see, and in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
That's right.
Even if you think you know all, you should always seek the counsel of your parents. And that is where, for children who did not have that parental upbringing, I will plead with them to seek for spiritual fathers and mothers. Yes, they should seek for mothers. They should, you could just walk out there and, like our mommy, talk to mommy. Mommy, I want you to be my mother. I want you to be my mother because I can see something good in you. And if you become my counselor, I know I can get somewhere. So you should not take your own way and say, because my parents didn't take care of me, they didn't pay my fees, so I'll go my own way. Going your own way is destructive. And we should also encourage the children that your life is not in your hands. Neither is it in the hand of your parents. I know parents who have given their children all they want, yet they grew to become nothing. Yes. So it is the Lord who gives us children, and He can bring them up the way we want them to be. So we, the parents, can wish, we can do our best to give them all that they need. But like I said, we must not do away with prayer, because that's the key that can mold them into the kind of adults we want them to be.
Let me ask this question. Do parents really understand their children? And do children really understand parents? That, friction. Are we really working towards it at all?
I think that is where the challenge is. We, the parents, we think we are your parents, so we know everything. Or we assume to know. And the children also think that we are not of their generation, so there is a gap over there. So I believe there is the need for us to come to that understanding that it doesn't matter the age of that child. There is something that we all need to learn from our children. It is true that we are their parent. They are not disputing that fact. But what are we supposed to do to meet their emotional needs? Sometimes we think by providing them with everything is what they need, but that is not the issue. You can have the TVs, you can have all the electronic gadgets, taking them on vacation to wherever, but there may be something that that child is looking up to. If you are not able to meet such a need, the child will not be fulfilled. It could be a hug, a peg, just appreciating the child, going a little extra out of the ordinary will bring the child back. But if you think that, oh, it's only you do this, you do that, commanding and directing, it will not help. That is where the child will have a problem with you. But when you get the child to your level, trying to talk things over, let the child feel involved. Let the child feel that I'm part and parcel of this family. It's not about mommy and daddy, but it's about all of us in this house. So let us reason together. Let us do things together. Once a while, you organize a family meeting. Okay, from the first quarter up to this third quarter, what have you seen that you don't appreciate in this family? Let's do that assessment. I'm not going to be too personal. You just feel free, talk about it. I'm a human. I need to make amends for the family to grow. And then we do that to daddy, the children as well. And I believe that relationship will be established. And then we know our shortcomings and then we move forward. But if we want to be the final authority, thinking that we know everything, and I said this and it must be done, that rainbow type or that helicopter type of taking care of children will not help.
It's not a war zone.
Not at all. Not at all. We are partnership. We are in partnership, working together for a betterment of the family. The child will contribute, the parents will contribute, and together we move forward. But if we want to think to leave them by saying that they are children, believe you me, we are going to have problem. But when you bring them together, they'll feel secure, they'll feel appreciated, they'll feel love, and they'll not give us problem, and there'll not be any negative influence anywhere, and we'll move forward as a family.
Reverend, I know you have a lot to say, but let me ask this question. You know, there are let me use the word stereotype-minded kind of husbands or fathers, who feels that I have to stamp my authority. Otherwise, things will not go the way. But like, if you listen to mommy, let's reason together. We call the family, everybody bring your ideas, how to shaping the family, where are we going from here? We've moved 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, what's the future holding for us? But there are some men or some mothers or fathers who feel that, no, we are in charge. Like she's rightly saying, it is my way. You all have to follow, like the king of the jungle. All animals are supposed to allow me to, take the lead, and then they follow. When you get to this point, are we not crashing?
You see, being a dictator in a family will never help. In fact, when mommy was talking, I was just picturing the family as an organization. You see, the person who employs you at a certain given time know that you are an expert. So you don't need the director general to be here. But he believes that you will do something good.
That's right.
You see, the life formation of a child is within the first 6 years.
That's right.
By 6 years, the character of a child
Has been formed
has
already.
been formed.
That's right.
And from that 6 years going, that child can contribute something. Yes. You may not value it, you may not see it as significant, but that child can contribute something.
Wow.
So we as parents should understand this. Just as she was saying, that at a given point, we should know that we now have partners. Because I could send that child 6 years, 7 years, 8 years to do something for me. Fetch me water, do this, do that, and do that. Which means that you know that that child knows something. You can send that child to buy you something across the street. And you believe that he or she will go and come. You see, so why can't we trust them that we can share ideas with them? So being a dictator in a home will not work. But we need to be democratic at times and apply all the leadership styles. Yes, so that at times you will be democratic, at times laissez-faire, at times autocratic. Yes, and there we go.
All the governing
Yes, you
strategies.
see, so that the family, because there are times you need to stamp your feet on the ground as a father. When a child comes, you say, I'm going out here. You don't know where the child is going. And you look at the age. Should I allow him or her at this time? That time, you, the father, should be able to say, no, not now. When the time comes, I will give it to you.
Whereby, I mean, it has been properly discussed.
Discussed.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
But my second born is tasking me of a computer now because I told him when he turns 6, I'll give him a computer. I've not done that one. So every morning,
He's been asking for the
you
computer.
told me you buy me a computer.
And the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Review Show with me, Johnny called Dollarich. As I said earlier, we have our WhatsApp line, app screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollarich. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. The program is Weekend Review, as I said, and we are discussing understanding the emotional needs of your child. I mean, how parents get disconnected from their children, and sometimes those kind of hazards, I mean, troubles here and there, the problems that we encounter. But here we believe in the next generation, and we are going to pray for God's grace that whatever we need to ensure that the family live in harmony, God will bring that grace upon us. Call somebody also to call somebody to watch the program. I'm going to my lady and I'm asking her this question. You see, there are times that sometimes you realize that, okay, your child is really gone. You can't do anything about it, whether it's by your fault or no fault of yours. And sometimes you have some children also who now get to that point, they said, no, I don't even want you as, I mean, for a father anymore. I don't want you for a mother anymore. And you see that gap because something had happened in a way. When you get to that point in your life as a parent or as a child, how do you get yourself back into the family?
With this question, we are trying to look at the extreme. That everything is like you've done your part or you have not done it properly and things have gone. What do you do? This one, I would suggest you see a specialist. There are child psychologists out there. There are good pastors out there. They will assist you. Because we live in a world that is not everything that is physical. So you also need the spiritual support to enable you go through such a challenge. Even as you are going through that challenge, there is the need for you as a parent to also do some sort of assessment. What have I done wrong that has brought this thing? Is it about the way I talk to the children? Is it about the way I relate? Have I not given them enough time? Have I listened to them enough? What is it about? Was I there for them when they needed me most? Or I distanced myself, thinking that they are of age and they could do ABC of their own. So if you are able to do that assessment, correct yourself first. If there is the need for you to go to that child, it doesn't matter the age. Render some sort of apology and see if the child will accept it. We all have our individual egos. So if the child accepts it, thanks be to God. But you try your very best to get that relationship back. But after doing all this, if you're not able to make amends, then you fall on a trusted person or a specialist to give you that helping hand, because you cannot do everything all by yourself. So look for a help and it will help. Don't just say that the child is gone and is gone for good. No. If God has not given up on us, how much more we're giving up on our children? There is still hope for us to make amends.
I'm tempted to say a big amen to that. And, Reverend, but let's look at this. Do any child have any right at all to hold anything against the parent, whether they be there for them or not?
Yes, as our topic goes, the emotional needs. You know, we are emotional beings. And when you step on somebody's toe,
that's right,
and the person is feeling the pain, it's only a fool who will say that, even though you are stepping on me, I'm not feeling the pain. Friend, your toe will be chopped off. You see, when people are negatively affected, they show it.
That's right.
You know. And as young as children are, the child, intelligent children can tell you, you did this to me, I was not happy. It's only some of them who are reserved, they won't say it, but they have it behind their minds. That when I was at this age, my father slapped me and I will never forget it. My daddy did this to me, my mommy did that to me, and I will never forget. Like you said, we should not feel proud and say because we are parents we cannot apologize. You see, as a parent, and any father or mother who cannot apologize to their children cannot also, that's my own observations or deductions, cannot apologize to the partner.
That's right.
Yes, because if you are able to apologize to your partner, it will be very easy to do it to your children. Yes, and I think that we should know that these things happen. We hurt our children, and we should be ready to apologize. And the children, they can hold it, and they have the right. Yes, if my father denied me of secondary school, I wanted to go to secondary school. I knew my father had the money, and I was ready to study. And today, I'm not what I am because my father denied me. I will never forgive him unless God comes in.
That's right.
Yes, unless God comes in. You see, but above all things, we should be able to calm things down. And as children, we should know that they are parents. And in life, it's the closest person to you that hurts you most. So even though you have been hurt one way or the other, in fact, children go through a lot. Yes, and if you listen to children, they tell you the kind of trauma they have been through, the kind of maltreatment they have received from parents and guardians. I'm telling you, it's not easy. But we need to help them to learn to forgive. Because God taught us so. The Bible taught us so. And when Mommy was speaking, one story came to mind. The prodigal son.
That's right.
Yes. He went away, discovered his mistakes, recognized that, no, I've done the wrong. I have to come back. And his father forgave him. So, if fathers can forgive children, children should also prepare to forgive their fathers. Because we are all not perfect until we get to heaven. Yes.
Talking about this forgiveness thing, I think we have to touch on it a little. When you know, or you do not even know, that you've hurt somebody. There are times that you see people drawing away from you because of one issue or the other. And immediately you realize or you sense the person is distancing himself or herself from you, whether it be children away from parent or parent away from children. How do we do the magic to get back on track?
It's not everybody who can pretend. There are some people, because they don't have the edge to talk about it, they will just be quiet and move along with you. But there are others, you see it through their actions. This is a child that you know very well, very outgoing, very cool with you, and all of a sudden you ask a question, yes, no. You could easily say that, no, this is not the usual person. This is not the child that I know. I've been with this child for some time now. You should realize that there is something that is going wrong. You just make that attempt. Find out from the child what the problem is about. Have I offended you? Have I said something that you don't like? Is it about the food that you've taken? Just go the extra mile. At first, the child will bring that resistance, will not be able to talk about it. But as you persist, it will get to a point that the child will say, yes, it's because of A, B, C, D. And if you're able to get that, what then do you say? Oh, sorry about that. I meant it for A, B, C, D, but I didn't know this would be the outcome. If that is the case, I'm sorry. You know something? You also did this. That is why I might have done this. So please, let us all correct it and move forward. With that, you wouldn't hold anybody to heart. You are all free and you are moving. But if you realize it and you think I'm the parent, I won't mind you. You should rather come to me. You will be in that house and the two of you will be suffering. And believe you me, the negative implications will be more. It is going to affect the child if the child is going to school. It's going to affect the performance of that child. It's going to affect the performance of the child in every aspect of the life. Even in relating with others, it's going to be affected. Why do I say so? The child is not happy. So when the child gets to school, the teacher is teaching. The child will be there all right, but will be absent-minded. The child knows very well that from school, I'm going back home. The problem is still there. If it's about the child associating with others, because you have bruised the child emotionally, it will be difficult for the child to come out to say something. So you are not very careful. At a point in time, that child will become timid. That child will be so reserved and will not associate or not talk about anything just for the fear that if I say it, my parents will take offense. But is that how it's supposed to be? No. Let us do it together. We are human. I've offended you. You have offended me. Let us explain the situation, have the understanding, and then we move forward. That is the way I think it should.
You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to add something to. You see, that's the problem we have in our society today.
Right. That's right.
That the parent or the elderly are always right, and the children are wrong. So even organizations, the employers have no say. But you see, we are all work in progress, and that's how our children are. Right. And so as a good manager of the home, you should do what we call work in progress evaluation. You should always evaluate the home, evaluate the children, evaluate your wife. If your wife is not happy with you, you know. If your child is not happy with you, you know. And immediately you should sit them down and know why this attitude. But unfortunately, like many managers, they accuse workers for failure, but they don't look at what they have contributed to that failure.
That's right.
And we don't want to breed future leaders who are failures. Yes, we don't want to mentor people who will disappoint us in the future. So we need to start right from the home. Every day, assess them. Whatever happens, just get to know, solve it, and let life continue.
And on this show, we are bringing up good leaders in the future.
Yes.
And the program is Weekend Review. Here we say we are bringing the family together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generations. I want to say a big thank you to Reverend Akondo for passing through the program. First of all, thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And Mrs. Dugbazan JB, thank you for coming. I'm so blessed having you It's been awesome. It's been awesome. Viewers, I want to say a big thank you for being part of the show. It's quite unfortunate our time is far spent, and but tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Empowerment Assemblies of God Church. We are bringing to you Redeeming the Family Glory. I don't know about you. So much is happening out there. I mean, the destiny of families are being reshaped. I mean, miracles are happening. That testimonies upon testimony. Most of the time I say, I wish I could just bring some testimonies and read them to you. But you know what? Pick any of the numbers up screen and let's chat and then talk to me and let's see how best we can get this program going. I love you so much, and I want to say a big thank you to all my pastors who have been through this show. I salute you all. I mean, you've been supportive from one end to the other. God richly bless you. My production team and my family, you guys are awesome. I mean, my little boy and the girl, you know, when I offend them, they go and say, Daddy, apologize to me. Jesus Christ, I love you so much. Shabak, Leah, and Sweetheart, and Baruch, I mean, God richly bless you. Thank you so much for being there. We'll see you same time next week.
There is power in the name of Jesus.
This is a moment to join hundreds of families praying to make their relationships, marriages, and homes better through divine grace. Join Weekend Review with Dollarich on GTV Live in Redeeming the Family Glory under an atmosphere of worship and prayer. GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites you to come intercede, rebuild, and to restore the family glory. The venue is Empowerment Center, Assemblies of God, Taifa, Burkina, with Reverend Stephen Doku. Date, Sunday, 2nd October 2016. Time, 8:30 a.m. sharp. Theme, Total Trust in God. Precious one, Evangelist Johnny called Dollarich of Weekend Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through prayer.
New Yehovah, Womona, be Johnny Betua, I hate him all, New Era Day.